welcome to a new episode of the Disney Memes. I'm Sherry.
I'm Gooch.
And Josie's watching Disney Junior.
Well, she's actually watching Toy Story.
That's right.
The Land That Time Forgot.
The Toy Story that Time Forgot. That's right.
And followed by the Legos Frozen...
Northern Lights.
Northern Lights.
Yes.
Followed by Frozen.
That seems appropriate.
We haven't talked to these guys in a while.
We haven't. Not since we got back from the trip.
How's it going? You guys doing all right?
We hope you guys are obviously having a happy holiday season. We're filming this.
So speak up. Has Kat got your tongue?
Yeah, come on.
Tell us how you are.
Talk to us. So we are filming this on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve. Yes.
The eve of Christmas Eve.
Which is Christmas Eve.
Eve.
Yes.
Is that Christmas Eve squared?
Yeah, I think it is.
Or not? I don't know. It's not really squared. It's just...
No, it's just...
twice removed.
Yeah. It's Christmas Eve plus one.
It's
plus an Eve. I have an Eve and then I'll raise you an Eve. Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
it's the Friday before Christmas and Christmas is on Sunday. Let's say it that way.
Yes. It's Christmas Eve.
Fine!
This episode, we are going to do a trip review for our... we were at Walt Disney World December 2nd through the 9th.
Let me ask you guys, how do y'all think it was?
Awesome!
It was awesome. Okay, review's over. That's it. What?
I need my phone so I can remember where we ate.
Well...
Can you just grab my phone?
Maybe.
Get my phone, please. So, like I said, we're going to do a review of our trip. It's going to be an all-encompassing thing where we talk about the trip in general, the resort, and our dining reviews.
And we're probably going to try to move pretty quick because we've got a lot to cover because we were there for 7 nights and 8 days. So
yes.
A lot of stuff to cover.
And I will say that if you... we're going to give just really brief reviews of our dining choices. If you want a more in-depth review of a certain restaurant,
let us know.
Put it in the comments below, and we'll film a more in-depth review of that particular restaurant. Cool. All right. So, just I guess, should we start with the resort?
Well, let's...
I know.
Okay, so we stayed at the Polynesian.
We stayed at the Polynesian.
It was our first time staying at a deluxe.
Yes, and the reason why is because I got one of those unique offer code emails, and usually the Poly, in fact, I got one recently that the Poly was involved with,
but it wasn't as deep of a discount.
It was like a 15% discount.
As opposed to 30.
Yeah, I happened to look into an offer code for that trip for 30% off a standard room at the Polynesian.
Yeah, and it was...
I'm going to say we have now stayed at a value, a moderate, and a deluxe.
And all I have to say about the Poly, and I will quote Ferris Bueller, if you have the means... Please, if you have the means, please pick one up. It's because it is so choice.
It's so choice. Just right from the beginning, when you come off the Magical Express and you walk into that little area where the fountain is, it just sets the scene for just...
Don't forget to go to the front desk to get your lei.
Yes. When you first check in, even if you have the text with your room number, go and get laid at the front desk.
Go get laid at the front desk. Yeah, go get your lei.
Yeah, when you check in at the front desk, they put a lei around your neck and tell you aloha, which we did not find out until like one of our last days.
No, it's like the last day.
Literally the last day.
But we had our lei and people were saying aloha to us all throughout the park. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It's just so beautiful, and I hope the video that I took for the trip vlogs just... I don't think any picture I had really could ever show you, or any video I could ever show you, could really do this place justice.
Here's what struck me about the Polynesian, and it's probably true of most of the deluxe resorts. And yes, it's a hotel room, Yes, it's a little bit bigger than the room. Not much, but a little bigger than the rooms at the other places. And you've got a couple of extra amenities, and you've got some granite countertops.
Well, the reason why the rooms are bigger is because it and the Contemporary have the biggest standard rooms.
They were built before they figured the space thing out.
Yeah, and said, "Oh, yeah,
they could fit more in if they shave a little bit,
just
off
a little bit off here and there." And yeah, so the Poly and the Contemporary rooms are bigger.
But what struck me is, from the time we got there to the time we left, the level of service that you get at a deluxe resort is unmatched. Not that the service is bad at a moderate or a value resort, because it's not. The service is good at all the resorts, but the service at the deluxe resorts is top notch.
Right.
Period.
Right.
And what I mean by that, we asked directions to get to the walkway from the Poly to the transportation center. And not only did the gentleman give us directions, he walked with us to make sure we found it.
Yes. Well,
just those little things.
Well, when we were finding
got there.
Yeah, well, when we first were going to our room, this lady,
we asked where is, and she not only pointed us in the direction, she walked with us.
Yes.
To get there.
Yes.
So just those little things.
I totally
made it stand out.
And then you have things going on at the resort the whole time, and that's true of most of the Disney resorts, the moderates, but especially the deluxe. But we walked in one night out of the park, and they had the fire twirler from the Luau show out in the back courtyard putting on a show. I mean, it's just it's just so amazing.
And you can see Cinderella's castle from the resort.
That's true.
So that's kind of the gist of the Polynesian. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's obviously set up to make you feel like you're in Hawaii, and you do feel like you're in Hawaii. The foliage, the scenery, the tiki's about, the character figurines that they have about, like, there's one spot where you've got Minnie in a hula skirt.
Yeah, it's in the little glass case.
Over by Captain Cook's.
Yeah, it's in like a little glass case with a different Polynesian, like a picture of Lillian and Walt Disney from their Hawaiian vacation. And one cute little thing is they had the single for Pineapple Princess by Annette Funicello, and Josie's dance school, the Micro Mini group, is doing a routine to Pineapple Princess. So I had to take a picture of that and send it to Josie's dance teacher.
Yeah. So the Polynesian is fantastic. In fact, I don't know that another resort, for me, Grand Floridian, Contemporary, Beach Club, Yacht Club, whatever, I don't think that another resort can top that experience for me, because
it would be very hard.
Because that resort is the one we wanted to stay at after seeing all the others anyway.
That was our big bucket list right there.
So and if we could afford to stay at it every time, we would, but it's
it's just impossible just because it's a lot.
Well, unless we win the lottery.
Yeah.
And then we'll just live there. But so the Poly was great. So we get to the park, and we get into our room, and we get ready, and we get ready to go to the park.
And we were staying at the Aotearoa.
Aotearoa, yeah.
Which is
over by the Luau.
Over close to the Luau, yes.
So we get to the park, and we get to the resort. We get checked. We get into our room. We drop off our stuff, and our first park was Epcot, so we went to Epcot.
Yep.
And when we got there, we noticed that it was Saturday.
Yes, and it was very crowded.
It was kind of crowded. So yes. and we expected that because we knew that we were coming in on the tail end of a crowded week. So.
That and the weekends are weekends are going to be more crowded.
Gonna be crowded.
Yeah,
because it's the weekend.
Yeah, and
the locals come in, and you got people coming in, people leaving. So
yeah, we didn't get a whole lot done that day because we, like he said, it was almost like
it was a travel day.
It was a travel day.
We were tired. We kind of took it at a slow pace, and
still kind of getting our feet under us too from after the flight. So
so our first meal, we went to was lunch, and we went to Via Napoli and the Italy Pavilion at Epcot.
And World Showcase, yes.
World Showcase.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, from all the reviews and the pictures and you know, reading about it and whatnot, I had this really, and I'm a bit of a pizza snob. I'm just gonna say it. I'm a pizza snob.
Well, you used to make pizzas.
I used to make pizza. Whatever, it was Domino's, but whatever. But when you make pizza, at some point, you tend to critique other pizzas because you're like, okay, well, I could have made better than that, or wow, that was really good, or something along those lines. But we get there, and I had this expectation that was kind of set, that was pretty high, and that was probably my fault. I shouldn't have done that. Because I was looking forward to the way they baked it in the brick ovens and you know.
Well, every review that I've ever heard was just like, oh my god, this is the best pizza ever, you know.
However, we got there, and first of all, the staff. I will say the staff, very very friendly, very attentive. However, it took an hour to get the pizza. That was one.
It did. Well, first, it also took us like 20 minutes to get our seat.
It took us 20 minutes to get our seat. Well, I'm not even going to give a hard time about that because we were a few minutes late for our reservation.
It was like 3 minutes.
Yeah, but I mean.
But still. But after waiting 20 minutes.
And then we order our pizza, and all we ordered was a pepperoni pizza. We didn't order anything crazy.
And we did get an appetizer because we were starving.
We got an appetizer.
We got the caprese salad.
Which was kind of good. I wasn't really big on the texture of the cheese they used.
Right.
All we ordered was a large pepperoni pizza. That was it. So it was nothing exotic.
Right.
You know, you take a bread dough, you flatten it out you sauce it, cheese it, put pepper on it, and bake it. You know, 15 minutes. Tops. It takes 8 minutes at Domino's to cook a pepperoni pizza.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get our pizza for an hour.
Yeah.
And
that sucked up a lot of our time.
And when we got it, it was kind of lukewarm.
Yeah, it wasn't even hot.
Which, if you're waiting for an hour, you expect your pizza to be hot and fresh when it comes out.
And it did not taste hot and fresh.
And it was kind of lukewarm, and
I didn't like the sauce.
It had been sitting there for a minute, and I wasn't a fan of the sauce because it was really kind of sweet, and we
like a tangy marinara.
I like a tangy borderline spicy marinara is what I prefer.
But this was really sweet.
But it was really sweet, almost kind of like I don't want to say Chef Boyardee, but it was almost like Chef Boyardee.
It was.
And you know, the integrity of the slice really just wasn't there. You had some slices that were loaded down with pepperoni, and you had some slices that had like one piece of pepperoni, and the cheese wasn't even. So, I mean, maybe we caught them on a bad day, but
I'm willing to give it another try just to see, maybe get it by the slice.
I'd rather go to Toto Italia.
I love Toto Italia, but yeah, Thumbs kind of. We did down the pizza, and Josie just like.
Well, we were hungry. We were
starving. Yeah, he and I had not had breakfast. She only had just a little tiny bit for breakfast.
Here's the other thing. They have the table service there. I mean, they have the table service, which we did, and then they have the quick service. I feel like we could have gone to the quick service and gotten the same thing or better and been in and out in 20 minutes.
That's true.
As opposed to waiting an hour for a lukewarm pizza that really wasn't that good.
That's true.
So, sorry, Via Napoli. I can't really endorse you.
I'm not going to give it a thumbs up. I'm going to give it a thumbs.
I'm going to give it a
meh. Thumbs meh.
The staff, you were great.
Yes.
The atmosphere was great. On the dining experience.
All right. So after that, we were in the park for quite a while. Josie met Anna and Elsa again. It was kind of funny because last year she was. If you see the video on the channel, she's jumping up and down like, "Oh my God, it's Anna and Elsa!" This time, she just walked right up to them, just like they're old friends, going, "Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, your Ice Castle,
Ice Palace, yeah,
Ice Palace.
See my shoes?
Yeah, look at my shoes." It was really weird because she was just like, "Oh."
She was very reserved, and she walked. I mean, she was excited.
Yeah,
but she walked up to them like they were Yeah, like
They're, hey, how you doing?
Like old friends just catching up.
Yeah, I mean, it was really interesting to see her interaction. But we did a few things. We did the new Soaring Around the World. Amazing.
It was good.
Amazing. I had tears in my eyes coming out. It was just so good. Of course, I mean, I've always been...
Soaring Around the World was I mean, we were kind of skeptical about that because, you know, you're changing a ride that was already one of our favorites.
Yes.
But you made it better.
But you made it better. The new screens are definitely, and the new projectors are great ad. We had to rider swap that because Josie came in
just a little under. We rider swapped it. I took her to see the Circle of Life video while Mommy rode, and then you took her on Living with the Land.
After lunch, while you rode, I took her on Living with the Land, and that was perfect timing. So we, you know, toiled around and, you know, did our fast passes. Then we left, went back to our...
Oh, we did Figment.
We did do Figment. Oh my gosh.
She loves Figment. Figment of the imagination. If you have a kid, even if you don't have a kid, go do Figment. I mean,
I love Figment.
Figment is fun, especially when you get into it's all about sensory. Okay.
The smells.
As soon as you get into the smell room, you're gonna love it.
Yes. Okay. So, but after but after we left, we had to go over to Magic Kingdom to catch a boat over to Fort Wilderness for our next ADR, and that was a trial.
Yeah, getting there, but I'm gonna tell you what. The travel and the time to get there was totally worth it because the Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue was friggin' awesome.
Unlike
oh my gosh, it was fun.
Unlike Via Napoli, where I mean I had been hearing about the Hoop-Dee-Doo Revues pretty much since I had started going 15 years ago, and I had been dying to go to Hoop-Dee-Doo and never had, but.
First, we should say what it is. It's a dinner show.
It's a dinner show. And actually, during Christmas time, instead of doing their regular songs, now they do the Hoop-Dee-Doo song.
Right.
But the other songs are all Christmas songs.
I get nothing for Christmas.
He was singing it all.
It's stuck in my head. It was stuck in my head. It was great. But
Sixpence. I think Sixpence and Claire de Lune were our favorite.
Gosh. Oh my gosh, her laugh was... But, okay. First off, the food. You're talking about fried chicken, you're talking about ribs, you're talking about mashed potatoes, you're talking about green beans and baked beans, you're talking about down-home... Southern...
And that's us.
Food.
That's us.
And...
It's so...
This was a meal I was not disappointed with.
It was so good. Let me just put the ribs... I'm not a rib person.
She ate one.
I thought the ribs were good, if that tells you anything.
And they give you a bucket of ribs.
They give you a bucket of ribs, bucket of fried chicken.
She ate one of them. I ate every single other rib. It was that good. I loved them. Yeah. They were great.
Now, Josie loved the singing and the dancing, but kind of towards the end, because we had like 8:30 reservations, she started falling asleep.
But the show was fantastic. The players were great. They were all interactive. They
acknowledged our anniversary.
They acknowledged our anniversary.
Yeah.
I mean, they did that for everyone that had a birthday or anniversary. Or some kind of an event, or the person that traveled the furthest or whatever. But you know, the players in the show were fantastic. Every single one of them.
Especially Sixpence and Claire de Lune.
Sixpence and Claire de Lune were
freaking for Christmas.
They were freaking hilarious. And you know, the food was good, the service was good. Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue. You know what? You're 2 dining credits, but you're worth it.
There's a reason why it's the longest running dinner show.
Yeah,
because it's that fantastic.
You're 2 dining credits. You're worth it.
It's more than worth it. I mean, it was so good.
If you have a chance to do Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue, do it. You will not regret it. Even though it's at Fort Wilderness, even though you got to take a boat to get there, even though it's kind of out of the way, you will enjoy it and you will smile the entire show.
It was, oh my gosh, it was great.
It was good.
Okay, so that wrapped up our first day.